All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Workforce Wednesday. I'm really excited about today's feature because I'm here with Maureen James, HR Director from Cardinal Glass. How are you doing today?
Hi, Bree. Thank you so much for having us. We're excited to be here.
Yes, this is going to be an awesome conversation. Cardinal Glass is fairly new to their facility, right? Can you tell us a little bit more about Cardinal Glass, what you do, where you're located, and the history of the company in the area?
Yep. We have been in this facility since 2018. It's a brand new building. Prior to that, we were in the Jessup Business Park below us. We're located in the Valley View Executive Park, but we were in the Jessup Small Business Park below us before that until we expanded and moved up here. We had bought out a local laminated glass manufacturing facility in Carbondale, and then Cardinal took that over in about 2016.
Oh, that's awesome. So brand new facility. I'm sure it looks awesome. I know from the outside, when you see the building on the mountain, it's just like breathtaking.
Oh yeah, it's big, very clean. I mean, we have great views. That's for sure.
Awesome. Awesome. So you have some career opportunities available for our area. What are you hiring for right now?
Right now, we are hiring for both full and part-time production technicians, as well as summer help. And then we are hiring maintenance mechanics as well.
Oh, great. So what types of skills and educational requirements and experiences are you looking for when you're hiring for these positions?
As far as our skills and educational requirements, for our production technicians, that is totally on-the-job training. You could just come in right off the street and we will train you for that position. For our maintenance mechanics, that is more of a skilled area. We would like at least a high school diploma and a 2-year technical degree. Preferably a little bit of experience, mainly in the electrical industry, mechanical or HVAC work.
Great. Yeah, a lot of people might be intimidated when they see like a production technician. They may say, I have no experience in that, or I've never tried that before. So knowing that you can walk right in, no experience necessary, and get the proper training you need to be successful is really nice.
Yep, there's 3 main different departments as far as the production techs work in. And actually, when I came on in HR, I've been here about a year and a half. I worked in all the areas just so I did have a better understanding what each role did in the laminated glass manufacturing process. So it was good to actually be on the floor, know what all the employees are going through on a daily basis and the tasks of each job.
Wow. So you spent time working on the floor in each of these positions.
Yep. Yes. So I knew exactly what it was like. I think that also helps me when I am interviewing candidates where I think someone might be a better fit compared to a different area of the plant.
And that really says a lot about your company culture, because now as a person in HR, you can relate to the people working on the production floor. So can you talk a little bit more about the values and what it feels like to work at Cardinal Glass?
Yep. Our values, the acronym is SCRIBE, and SCRIBE our values among others. So what SCRIBE stands for is safety, is the S. Always look out for yourself and others. Compassion. We always try to have empathy towards others. Respect for yourself, others, and of course the company. Integrity, to do the right thing. Balance, to take care of the whole person. And lastly, efficiency, we are focused and organized.
I like the B one, that balance, taking care of the whole person, because I think nowadays a lot of people think like, okay, I'm going to go to work, I'm going to get burnt out, I'm going to feel tired every single day and come home and just not want to do anything else but relax. So knowing that Cardinal is prioritizing that balance, that taking care of the whole individual is really important.
Yes, absolutely. I think this day and age, a lot of people tend to forget to do that. We're all so busy, not only in our work life, but our personal life. So, taking a step back to, take care of yourself is very important.
Yeah, and that really shows that Cardinal cares about their employees, not just when they're at work, but when they're going home too. They want to make sure they have a good employment experience and just a good life in general.
Yep. Our goal is that you walk in here the same and you leave the same way you came in. We want everybody, you know, to get home to their family safely, just as they did when they arrived.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that. So what attributes does somebody need to have to be successful in the positions that you're hiring for, those production techs, those maintenance positions?
Honestly, a good work ethic. You come to work every day, you're on time, you put forth your best effort, and you'll be successful. I can almost guarantee it. We offer an attendance incentive for those people. If you show up every day on time, you don't leave early, you don't call off. We give attendance incentives every month. So that's a nice bonus for employees also. And I personally, for me, I think that's easy to achieve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And especially when right now we're going through a very weird time where people might have a lot on their plate, knowing that if they prioritize coming to work and doing a great job and focusing on what they're doing in those careers, that they get rewarded for that is nice, that recognition.
Yes, absolutely.
So can you tell us a little bit more about your wage and benefit packages? Because right now it really seems to be like a job seekers market, right? So competitive wage and benefit packages are super important. Can you tell us anything about those?
Yep. Our benefit package, all of our benefits are effective first of the month following 30 days. We offer full medical, dental, life insurance, disability, 401k. All of our benefits, our corporate location is based out of Minnesota. So all of our benefits are taken care of through the HR department out there. And then it's individually through each plant across the United States. But our medical is through Blue Cross of Minnesota. Our dental is through Delta Dental. And then our 401k is through Wells Fargo. We also offer profit sharing. And what profit sharing is, every month, based on our sales throughout the entire month, if we reach a certain goal, we pay part of our profits back to our employees. So it's almost like a potential bonus every month. We paid out the past 10 months in a row. We're looking at 11 for April. We have, technically concluding today, we have 3 days left in April for any sales to go towards that total number. Mm-hmm. And when employees get profit sharing, they're eligible for that first of the month following 60 days of hire, which the payout would technically be after 90 days because we pay the following month, naturally, mm-hmm. after we close a business for the month. But employees could have two options with that. We have a cash first option, where the first up to 33% of your monthly salary would be in cash. Anything over that, up to 52% would go into a 401k. Or we have an option, a 401k first option, where the first 10% would go into a 401k, and after that it would be cash. So that's great. I think that have employees here over the past 6 months, in 2020, I correct myself, have averaged about $6,000 in bonuses after taxes. So it's not guaranteed, but I'm not going to tell you to go buy a new car and count that as your payment. But like I said, we've been super busy. The construction industry is booming right now, which then in turn makes us busy. So like I said, we're looking at hopefully month number 11 that we'll be able to pay out to all of our employees again.
That's a really unique benefit that you offer. And in terms of like from an employee's perspective, I know a lot of job seekers might think like, oh, I'm going to work and I'm getting paid this dollar amount, and then I'm helping this company be successful and they're raking in all these profits, and really I only get my paycheck at the end of the day. So again, it goes back to that company culture of Cardinal Glass and really caring about their employees and saying, hey, you helped us achieve this, so we're going to give you those benefits back. And you talking about, April might be that 11th month. Again, not guaranteed, but It's not unreachable. It's not unreasonable to think about that profit sharing as an added benefit of Cardinal.
No, absolutely not. And I also think it does bring a sense of hires our morale. Definitely. You know, of course, everybody loves bonuses. I don't know anybody that doesn't. So when they're continually getting them month after month, that really does help.
Yeah, absolutely. And $6,000 is a lot of money, you know, to have added on average in bonuses over the course of a year. That could really be a really nice addition to your salary.
Yes, absolutely.
So is there any potential for career advancement at Cardinal? If you start out as a production technician, what opportunities exist for you beyond that?
There's always opportunity for advancement. Once you start as a production tech, the next step would be a line lead. So the production line that you're on, you could potentially lead that line. And the next step after over a line lead would be a line supervisor, shift supervisor. So right now, as I'm thinking about our team that's out on the floor, majority of all the line leads and supervisors were all promoted within. They all started as production technicians. And then we decide when first shift is obviously gone for the day. Naturally, more of our office staff is always here during the day, more so than second and third shift. We have a second shift supervisor and a third shift supervisor. Again, the opportunity was there for internal employees to, grow into those roles. And as well as, since we do have plants across the country, we have over 40 plants across the country. You'll see a lot of our C-suite staff, they have come from other plants. For example, our plant superintendent, he started out, he was in one of our Wisconsin plants. He was in a maintenance manager position out there, and as well as a supervisor, and then eventually became promoted to our superintendent position here. And our plant manager as well, he started out in one of our Fargo, North Dakota plant as a supervisor, eventually was promoted to a plant superintendent in our Wilkes-Barre location. And then when we opened this plant here a few years ago, he was promoted to plant manager here. So the opportunity for advancement is absolutely there.
Wow, I love those. I love hearing those types of stories because it really just reinforces the idea that, these are not the stigma of a dead-end job that you might think about when you hear manufacturing jobs, right?
Right.
You have that potential if you want to grow in your career and advance up through the ranks. The possibilities are endless.
They really are. And especially if some folks do, don't mind having to relocate or, always, staying local in Northeastern PA is always an option as well.
Yeah, we hope they stay here. We want those people here. And that really also, when you tell those stories too, that makes me think about going back to your morale, right? It's really nice to have supervisors and managers that have been where you were at one point. So they understand what you're going through, they can relate to you better, and that makes your employment experience significantly more enjoyable.
I don't have it. Excuse me, I'm sorry, what?
The question here.
For what?
Yankee has the guy over here.
Then tell him to write it in his own. I can't talk. I'm sorry about that.
Oh no, that's okay. No problem.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was just saying how it's really nice in terms of, like, we were talking about company morale, to have those supervisors and those managers who have been where you were at one point, because then they can relate to you. They can offer you advice and guidance if you're ever struggling for whatever reason. And you can see yourself in them, right? Hey, if they did it, so can I.
Absolutely. And I think that always does help, seeing that leadership has grown, as a production tech. Actually, one of our production managers, he started out as a production tech in Wilkes-Barre and then worked his way, and now he's here as a production manager. So yes, the opportunities are all over.
So, obviously the COVID-19 pandemic has been on everybody's mind right now, especially in terms of employment, because people might be a little bit fearful to come to work because they don't want to get COVID, or God forbid, take it home to their family that they're taking care of after hours. So can you just talk a little bit about the safety precautions that you've put in place to keep your employees safe while working?
Yes, absolutely. From when COVID first started over a year ago, we were actually nervous because at first Governor Wolf said we didn't fall into the essential worker category. So we did think we were going to have to shut down. Thankfully, we didn't. So of course, we have obviously the mask mandate that we're still having enforced today. We have temperature checks. So as soon as you enter the building, there is someone that takes your temperature. We have a constant, everybody takes turns between shift supervisors and managers to make sure all the temperatures get taken. We're assisting in employees getting signed up for vaccines, and then we're also holding a vaccine clinic here the end of next week for our employees and their family members. So they'll be able to get their vaccine right here on site, not have to leave, and then they will come back again in 4 more weeks to administer the second dose.
Wow,
So
super cool.
we're really trying to naturally push the vaccine. It's not, we're not making it mandatory, but you know, we're trying to, you know, push the benefits and trying to keep everybody safe the best way we can.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a huge benefit too for your employees as well, if they're interested in getting the vaccine, or their family members. I know I've heard some people are having difficulties getting those appointments or making it to different types of the clinics and the large scale vaccine distribution events that have been happening. So knowing that, a place that they go every single day that's accessible to them, that them and that they can get it, their families can get it, is a huge benefit.
Yes, absolutely. And Annie, one of the girls in HR with me, she is, I call her the COVID queen. She's always out there trying to get employees. She's signed up for vaccines, pushing the benefits, and she's been fairly successful.
Mm-hmm. That's great. And especially as an employee, knowing that, let's say you can't get the vaccine for whatever reason, that you're still safe working in that environment because of that herd immunity around you, that the majority of the employees that you're working with have that vaccine. That's a nice benefit as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Going back to that theme of, you really care about your employees, hosting that vaccine clinic, going above and beyond the responsibilities of an employer is really nice to see.
I agree 100%.
So you said in the beginning that you have a state-of-the-art facility. Now, I've had the pleasure of seeing a couple of videos and taking a tour of your facility and seeing the equipment and some of the automated machines that you have. Can you just describe those for our job seekers? Because I think that's super cool and not something that initially comes to mind when you think of manufacturing.
Absolutely. We have 3 main different departments when it comes to the whole process of laminating the glass. Our first department would be the cutting department, where they're actually cutting the raw glass to spec for the order. So in that department, we have an automated, I'll call it a cutter, so to say, in layman's terms, where the glass is lifted up by an electronic lift, placed on the table, and then cut based on whatever the computer is telling the machine to do, essentially. So then after the glass is cut to size, it is then pushed through to, that's more of a manual process, where then we have an employee, a production technician at the end of that table waiting for that glass. And then it is what it's called seamed, where it's like a high powered sander takes the sharp edges off of the glass. So it's much easier and safer to handle as it goes through the whole process. So once it's seamed, and then it is racked onto the different harps, which if you can picture a harp, like the instrument, the racks almost look like harps, where you would slide the glass individually in each slot. And from there, the glass would then go to the lamination process. So there are 2 identical pieces of glass when it goes to the lamination process. And what they do there is one of the production technicians would then take 1 piece of glass, it goes through a washer where it washes off maybe, any type of debris that might have touched the glass since the last process, and it is pushed into the lamination room. And in that room, it's temperature controlled. It's always 60 degrees. It's very clean. The air is ventilated. That glass comes through on a conveyor belt on a line. And then we take a piece of vinyl based on the type of glass that they're making, depends on how thick the vinyl is, the color, and then is put in between those two pieces of glass. After that, it goes through, I guess I would call it an oven. And then in that oven, the excess pieces of laminate obviously come off. We trim off that laminate, then it goes through another baking process to the end of the line. And then it is then put back on those harp racks that I just had mentioned. Our next process after that, it goes into the claves. And in the claves, they're like giant ovens. You put the racks right in there with all the glass. They heat up in there for a few hours. And after they come out of there, the glass comes out clear. After that, it goes through inspection. And it is washed, make sure there's no scratches, any type of breaks. And from there, it is packed and closed and shipped to the customer.
I love hearing you talk about this process from start to finish, because in it, you realize, like, as an employee at Cardinal, you're facilitating this process of laminating this raw glass from start to finish. But the majority of the time, like, the machines are doing the work for you. You're really just sort of facilitating it and guiding it and stepping in at those points where maybe the machines can't do a specific thing, and utilizing that technology to help the process along.
Yep, absolutely.
I love that. So what is something else unique about working for Cardinal that you might want job seekers to know about?
As far as other, like I said, the opportunity for advancement is always there. And I do always like to stress that to applicants when they come in for interviews. We will teach anyone how to do anything. We're very open. It's a very team-friendly environment. Your team depends on you. So I always try to stress that to potential employees when they are hired, about the importance of being here on time. You have a group depending on you. But as far as other aspects, I mentioned we do the attendance incentive. We offer boot reimbursement because we do require steel toe shoes out on the floor. So we'll reimburse you up to $75 annually. And if you do wear prescription glasses, we do require you wear safety glasses on the floor. We'll reimburse you for prescription safety glasses too. I believe that's every 2 years. And then we provide all the PPE you need based on the department, depends on the protective gear that you would require, but we give all that to you on day one.
Yeah, that's really nice as well, because those costs can add up when you're buying those boots and those glasses. So knowing that you're helping the employees to have the proper tools to make their jobs safe and comfortable as possible is a really nice benefit to have.
Yes, absolutely. And it can get very expensive. So, and it's always, I'm not saying it's always better to buy, obviously the more expensive shoe wear, but you're on your feet all day long. So you want to be comfortable. Right. So, we try to help the employees, the best that we can to ensure that, their job runs smoother throughout the day.
Great. So you mentioned that what you stress to people when they come in for interviews. What is your interview process like?
Typically our interview process, if an employee applies online, whether it's through Indeed, ZipRecruiter, just stops and fills out an application, or through Facebook, we call them to set up an interview. I screen them based on, where they're currently working or if they're working at the moment, and then what shift they're looking for. Because naturally, we have more openings, more so in the second and third shift, they're a little harder to recruit for than first shift positions. And then from there, I base it off of which department, needs that person, so to say. So we schedule the interview. The applicant will come in, fill out an actual paper application because we still do require that. And then they'll sit down and meet with me for a few minutes. I kind of go over just Cardinal as a whole, what we're about, get a little more insight on the actual individual. And then from there, they will meet with one of the production managers. The production manager interviews them. We'll take them on the floor, show them the job so they know what, the job entails, what they're doing. And then from there, if they're hired, we set them up for a physical and drug screen, and we do a background check on them. Once everything comes back, then we bring them in for orientation.
Oh, that's awesome. From start to finish, how long does that process usually take?
I've seen it take, and well, usually unfortunately with COVID and the drug testing process with the labs, they are taking longer than normal because the labs are a little more backed up than they typically would be. So I've seen it take a couple days to a week based on the individual. I try to get them in the best I can. We recently hired a training supervisor. So we're trying to do orientations more than one day a week to accommodate everybody's schedule and not make everybody wait until just, one specific Monday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really nice. And again, going that extra mile to make sure you're accommodating the needs of your employees and making the process as easy and simplified as possible for them.
Yes, best we can. I try to get them in here as fast as I can, but just sometimes it just takes a little longer, and that unfortunately is out of my hands.
Yeah, of course. You do the best you can, and what more can you ask for, right?
Exactly.
So you mentioned in the very beginning that you're hiring for summer help. Can you talk about that a little bit more? Are those temporary opportunities for people who are looking just for like a summertime job?
Yep. We are looking for our summer help right now with colleges letting out within the next week or so. I know finals are happening for a lot of schools next week. We're really trying to advertise for summer help. It's a great opportunity for college kids. Or non-college kids, you have to be at least 18 to come in, and we're leaving it up to the individual. If you want to work, 40 hours a week, 50 hours a week, like the rest of the full-time staff on the floor, you can do that. Or if you want to just do a couple days, I have a variety of students out there. I have a gentleman that comes in, he works usually 3 or 4 days a week, just like a 5 to 10 type, comes in for 5 hours. He does that all year round. I have another individual that he always comes back on his breaks. For Christmas, he worked a couple weeks, and he'll come back for the summer and hopefully give us a few months, but he'll work those full-time hours. And then I have other individuals that just say want to work, 2 8-hour days a week, but anything's a help. So like I said, we're leaving it open-ended for those employees.
That's really nice too, because a lot of people might think, well, everybody has a crazy schedule right now. So I think like, oh, well, I can't apply for this job because, I can't commit to all of these hours. So knowing that you're open-minded and you're flexible to working with them and accommodating their schedule is huge.
Yes. And I'm starting to see over the past week, we did get a little more uptick in our summer help applications, which I'm really excited for. Because it also gives them the opportunity to learn about, the opportunities out on the floor, and, maybe after college come back when we have different type of positions open, or if they wanted to transfer to a different location.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And a little extra money in your pocket as a college student doesn't hurt either, right?
Oh, never does.
So where can interested job seekers go to apply for your positions?
Well, right now we do have ads on Indeed and ZipRecruiter. They can always apply through there. You could stop in to our location here and fill out an application. Or if you went to we have a micro website that's not tailored towards the main website for all of Cardinal, but it would be www.nelg for Northeast laminated glass .workatcardinal.com. Potential applicants can just fill out a mini application there. I get a notice right to my email, and then I call them pretty much right away, or Facebook too as well. You can always message us on Facebook, and the ads are on there too.
Oh, that's awesome. You have a variety of options for people to be able to access your employment opportunities. Like you said, there's Indeed. You can go right to your facility there in Jessup. You can go on Facebook and send you a message, go on that website you mentioned. So a wide variety of options to reach you.
Yes, we try to tailor to everybody's needs.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Flexible, accommodating, caring. What would you want in an employer?
Exactly.
Awesome, Maureen. This has been so nice to speak with you about Cardinal, learn more about the available job opportunities that you have today. Before we sign off, is there anything else you'd like job seekers to know?
No, stop in, fill out an application. We'll give you a tour of the plant. If it's for you and you're interested, we'd be happy to have you come on board.
Fantastic. I'm sure some job seekers will be heading over right away to fill out those applications after this conversation. I know I had a really great time learning about Cardinal and how to make laminated glass. That's so cool.
Next time you're up, I'll give you a tour.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much. This has been fantastic.
All right, thanks, Bree, and thanks to the chamber.
Yes, have a great rest of your day.
You too.